So you're listening because $5 million, that's a number you're thinking about, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Whether it's for your own business, maybe you're freelancing, or even if you're part of a bigger company and you want to see some serious growth, that $5 million mark, it's a big deal.
It is.
And that's what we're diving into today. How do you get there? We're talking actual strategies, the kind you can hear and immediately think, all right, I can use this.
That's the goal.
We've been looking at how businesses of all sizes are approaching this challenge, all aiming for that substantial growth. So let's break it down.
Right.
What are those clear, actionable steps?
You know what's really interesting? When you look at businesses hitting that level, it's not about some secret trick.
Right, it's not magic.
No.
Yeah.
It's about consistently doing the fundamentals well. And the absolute bedrock, the starting point, is your offer. What are you putting out there?
Let's talk about that, the offer. Because it's more than just the product or service, right? It's about crafting something really compelling. What we've seen is this focus on an almost unbeatable offer, something with so much value that it feels like a mistake to say no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to put yourself in the customer's shoes, especially if you're just starting out. Why should they trust you?
Especially with so much competition out there.
Right. We saw how tough it can be to sell those high-priced items or services when you're still building that trust. So that initial offer is crucial. It's about proving yourself, delivering so much value up front that the price seems insignificant.
So it's like that foot in the door.
Yeah.
That initial offer has to be something valuable. Think a lead magnet or a low-priced intro product. Give people a taste of what you can do, and that builds the trust you need.
Exactly. And once you've got that trust, then they're much more open to your premium offerings later on.
That makes sense.
The principle that keeps coming up is this: deliver more perceived value than what you're charging.
Way more.
Yeah, way more. It reduces risk in the customer's mind, and that makes it so much easier for them to say yes.
It's a no-brainer at that point.
Exactly. And remember, this isn't static. It's not something you set up once and forget about. You've got to constantly refine and test your offer based on feedback. How's the market responding? Ask yourself, how can I make this even more valuable?
So it's an ongoing process of improvement.
Absolutely.
Okay, you have that solid offer, that foundation.
Right.
Now, how do you reach those customers? In today's world, it seems like a strong online presence is non-negotiable.
It's not even a question anymore. In 2025, a strong online presence is the bare minimum. It's table stakes, a robust and adaptable digital marketing strategy that's essential to reach that $5 million goal.
Robust and adaptable.
Yeah.
Okay, let's unpack that. What does it mean for someone building their business right now?
It means you can't put all your eggs in one basket. You need to be active on multiple fronts. SEO is critical so people can find you organically when they're searching for what you offer. Then there's paid advertising, targeted ads on Google, Facebook to reach specific customer segments.
So you cover the major players.
And don't forget the emerging platforms like TikTok. It's not just for dancing videos anymore. There's real potential for viral reach and direct sales through TikTok Shop.
For serious business growth. That's a change for a lot of people. I see the trends, but the direct sales part, that's something businesses really need to understand.
It's fascinating how entertainment and commerce are merging. But remember, it's not about being on every platform. It's about choosing the right platforms. Where are your ideal customers spending their time? Then tailor your message for those spaces.
So strategic targeting is key.
Absolutely.
Got it. So you've got a compelling offer and you're connecting with people online. What's the next step? It can't be a straight shot from seeing an ad to a major purchase, right?
You're right. That's where the strategic funnel comes in. Think of it as a guided path leading someone from discovering you to becoming a loyal customer. The goal is to make that journey as smooth as possible. Remove any friction, optimize each step to encourage those conversions.
I like that, removing obstacles. It's a great way to think about it.
Yeah.
What are some concrete ways to make that path smoother for potential customers?
We've seen the power of clear sales processes, no confusion, no guesswork, and think about pre-call education, short videos addressing common questions, building excitement, even before a sales conversation happens.
So set those expectations early.
Right, and especially in the early stages, don't underestimate the impact of the founder being involved in those initial sales calls. Your passion, your expertise.
Yeah.
That can be so powerful.
It's authentic.
Exactly. And of course, always look for opportunities to automate, streamline the process for everyone involved.
Make it easy to buy.
That's the goal.
It sounds simple, but I bet the execution takes real attention to detail. Now, with all this talk about offers and funnels, how do you know if it's actually working?
That's a crucial question, and the answer is data. You absolutely have to become student of your numbers. Gut feelings alone won't cut it when you're aiming for this kind of growth.
Okay, Professor, what are the key numbers to watch? What data points should we be obsessed with?
It's all about the metrics that tell the story of your customer journey. Start with your customer acquisition cost. How much are you spending to acquire a new customer? Then look at customer lifetime value. How much revenue do you expect from a single customer over their lifetime with you? And of course, track your conversion rates at each stage of your sales funnel.
So we're tracking these numbers, but how do we use them? How does this data inform our strategy?
The beauty of data is that it illuminates your path. By consistently tracking these metrics across marketing sales operations, you pinpoint the bottlenecks, where a customer is dropping off, which marketing channels are giving you the best bang for your buck. That data becomes your roadmap. You double down on what's working and adjust what's not.
It's like a business GPS.
Exactly.
All right, let's talk about something that makes even seasoned business owners squirm: pricing. We've seen a push to be bolder in this area.
Underpricing is a trap so many businesses fall into. But think about it. You might be unintentionally devaluing your offer, leaving money on the table. The advice we've seen is to experiment with different price points.
Experimenting with pricing. That feels risky. What if you price yourself out of the market?
It's a valid concern. That's why testing is crucial. It's how you learn what customers are truly willing to pay. And ultimately, it's how you maximize your profit. We looked at the example of Cody's business shifting to value-based pricing and testing different price points. The result: huge profit increases. It's about aligning your price with the true value you deliver.
So don't be afraid to test those waters.
Yeah, exactly.
So you get a customer, that first sale, that's not the finish line, right? There's a big emphasis on the long-term value of a customer.
That initial transaction, it's just the beginning. The total value a customer brings over their lifetime, that dwarfs the value of a single purchase. It's much more efficient and profitable to build loyalty with your existing customers than to constantly be chasing new ones.
So how do you turn one-time buyers into loyal fans?
Nurture those relationships. Create special offers just for them. Provide exceptional service that blows them away. Leverage tools like email marketing and loyalty programs. Encourage repeat purchases, and you increase that lifetime value with minimal additional acquisition costs. The untapped potential we saw in Cody's email marketing, that really highlights this point.
Turning customers into raving fans.
Exactly.
Now building a business to $5 million, that means making tough choices about where to focus. We've heard this idea of ruthless prioritization.
That's a core scaling principle. You can't chase every shiny object without spreading yourself too thin. Cody's business streamlining by closing an underperforming location. That's a perfect example of focusing on what truly moves the needle.
So it's about being strategic with your time, energy, and money. We saw Cody having to choose between different product lines. That had to be a tough call.
Absolutely. But making those clear strategic choices, picking a direction and focusing your resources on it, that's essential to avoid getting bogged down and hindering your growth.
So focus is key. But the business world is constantly changing. How do you stay relevant in the long run?
That's where adaptability and continuous learning come in. The business landscape is constantly evolving, especially with technology changing so rapidly. Staying curious, experimenting with new strategies, being willing to adapt, that's vital for long-term success.
So always be learning and be ready to pivot.
Exactly.
We started talking about the foundational offer, and it seems like it's so important that we need to circle back to it.
You're spot on. What we've seen over and over is that prioritizing a truly compelling offer from day one, that's critical. It sets the stage for everything else.
So what happens if you don't have that strong initial value proposition?
Trying to upsell or move customers to higher-priced offerings becomes an uphill battle if you haven't proven your value, if you haven't built that trust. You need that strong initial exchange to get them on board. So the focus should be on delivering significantly more perceived value than that initial price point. Reduce the risk for those new customers.
It's all connected.
Absolutely.
Now let's look beyond just the numbers. What are some of the other rewards of building a business to this level? We touched on this earlier.
It's inspiring to see that while financial success is definitely a factor, there are these powerful non-financial motivators. The ability to make a real impact, build a legacy, create something meaningful and sustainable. Cody's vision for a multi-generational business, Ben's passion for helping hospitality operators, Raymond's goal of a self-sustaining entity. These all show those deeper motivations. And let's not forget the personal satisfaction of setting ambitious goals and reaching them.
It's about more than just the money.
Absolutely.
For those listening who have some traction, maybe around that $1 million mark, what are the key shifts they need to make to get to $5 million?
Scaling beyond that initial success means building robust systems, implementing sophisticated marketing with a focus on ROI, developing well-defined sales processes, evolving your offers, and building a strong team. It's a transition from a founder-centric business to a system-driven one.
So it's about building infrastructure and processes, not just working harder. We keep hearing about this unsexy truth. What's the takeaway there?
It's the idea that sustainable growth often comes down to consistently optimizing the fundamentals. Your offer, your pricing, your marketing, your sales, and using data to measure and refine everything. It might not be glamorous, but it's the foundation of lasting success.
The nitty-gritty details.
Exactly.
So for everyone listening, aiming for that $5 million goal, remember these key steps. Craft an irresistible offer. Embrace strategic digital marketing. Build a streamlined sales funnel. Make data-driven decisions. Be bold with your pricing. Build customer loyalty. Prioritize ruthlessly. Stay adaptable. And never stop learning. And keep in mind those rewards that go beyond the financial.
Here's something to think about. Which one aspect of your business, your offer, your marketing, your sales, your data analysis? If you were to focus on optimizing that one thing right now using a data-driven approach, which one could have the biggest impact on your journey to 5 million? That's worth pondering.
That's a great question to ask yourself. And if you found this deep dive valuable, if it's given you some actionable insights, take a moment to like and share it with other people who are on this growth journey. Let's keep the conversation going and help more businesses thrive in 2025.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.
See you next time.
See you. Bye.